Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to make a custom LEGO Marvel CMF series. Tell me your favourite one down in the comments, and let's get into this. So guys, this is the first figure in my custom designed LEGO Marvel CMF series. As you can see, it's a LEGO Stanley. This headpiece is used from Dumbledore, and I'm not sure where the body and legs and hair are from, but they're just basic pieces. I did, however, have to swap the hands from yellow to the nougat colour. Not sure what colour it is actually, but it's like the skin tone colour. But overall, I think this figure turned out really well, and I think it represents Stanley well. So now we're going to move on to my next figure. So this figure is the second figure in my CMF series, and it's a TV agent from Loki. Here you can see a baton I made from just a few parts with a lightsaber hilt and a couple of 1x1 stud and a tile. I think that turned out overall pretty well. The body here, I think, represents the TVA agents very well, and it's from a Lego City set. Here, I couldn't get the correct visor piece that I wanted, but this turned out pretty well, along with the head with the goggles, which looks overall pretty well. So now we're going to move on to the next figure, which is a Lego Phil Coulson. So I know Lego have made a Lego Phil Coulson before, but I thought I'd add him to the list as we haven't had one for a while. I would, however, change his hands and headpiece to the nougat colour. Well, that colour I used for Stanley. Same with the TV agent, just to show it's like real life. So this suit piece I got from Harry Potter from the same set as Dumbledore, and then I just used a pair of normal plain black legs. So this next figure is a different version of Phil Coulson from Captain America the First Avenger. So let's show. So here I have made Phil Coulson in a snowsuit from the first scene in Captain America the First Avenger. Again, I've changed the headpiece for one of those nougat coloured pieces. As an accessory, I gave him a torch and used this Mission to Mars helmet piece, as I think it turned out pretty well. So, next figure I'm going to show you is a custom Matt Murdock I made. So, as Matt Murdock is showing up in the MCU now, I thought it's time we got a minifigure for him. As an accessory, I gave him a walking cane. However, I would like to change this if possible. The head I used was Harry Potter's, and just a normal suit piece, along with plain black legs. I also used this hair from Peter Parker from the Spider-Lair set, which overall I think this figure turned out pretty well. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. So guys, this is a MCU type version of Claw from Black Panther. So I used Luke Skywalker's body and pretty sure legs as well. I used the Tony Stark hair, and I'm not sure where I got that head from. Here I just used this piece. I think Shuri has it and a couple others, and then a gun. And overall, I think this piece turned out pretty well, and I think it represents Claw pretty well. However, I do know we have had an a comic book accurate Claw, but for a custom one, I believe this is pretty good. This next figure is a what if version of Nebula. So, for the pieces I just used a basic Nebula head, body and legs, but then I added this blonde hair. I would, however, like to change this headpiece, not to have the silver marks, but that's not something I would do. I can do, and Lego would have to print that themselves. Also, I'd change this arm for a blue arm because she doesn't have a robotic arm. But overall, this figure turned out pretty well, and it represents Nebula from the What If series. Well, I don't believe she has dual printed head, so this face print is what you'd have to put up with. But overall, this figure turned out pretty well. So this next figure is Kate Bishop. I gave her a dog as an accessory along with a bow, an arrow piece. This suit is meant to represent her middle suit from the middle of the show. But overall, yeah, it just uses an ordinary city purple body with the zip and a purple legs. I did, however, have to swap the hands for this colour, this nougat colour rather than yellow. Then I got this head, I think from Hermione, not sure. But overall, this figure turned out pretty well, so let's move on to the next one. So this next figure hasn't popped up for 20 years, but Lego never made this figure when the film came out. And this is Detective Stacy, well, Gwen Stacy's dad from The Amazing Spider-Man. So, I'm not sure where I got these pieces from, but I believe this head is a Jurassic Park head. But overall, I think this figure turned out pretty well with the gun holster and the shirt. And I also gave him a little, gun as an accessory. Overall, this figure turned out pretty well, and I think Lego should use this sort of design if they ever make any more Amazing Spider-Man sets. Let's move on to the next figure. So this next figure is Abraham Erskine from Captain America the First Avenger, the one that made the super soldier serum. So I gave him this police, I think from a police set, maybe pick up, build minifigure, this shirt and light tan legs. I also gave him the head from Obi-Wan Kenobi and this hat. So overall, I think this figure turned out pretty well. As an accessory, I gave him this needle to represent it's like the super soldier serum in it. So let's move on to the next figure, which is quite a new one. So you can probably guess who this figure is. Personally, this is the favourite of this series I have made. It is Electro from Spider-Man No Way Home. As an accessory, I gave him a blue stud to represent the Tesseract. No, not Tesseract, the arc reactor. I also dressed him in fireman gear to show his outfit throughout the film. Overall, I feel this figure is my favourite of the entire CMF series. Comment down below what you think is your favourite. So, it's just a basic Lego City fireman with a dark skin-toned head. And overall, this figure turned out amazing, so let's move on to the next one. So this next figure is Kraven the Hunter. as I got this like fur piece from the Daily Bugle that they use for a nest in the back, and then I just gave him an ordinary pair of brown legs and Obi-Wan's torso from a set a while ago. I also gave him Tony Stark's head and hair, as I feel it represents the look quite well. I also gave him the spear from the Mayan from I think series 22, maybe series 21, which turned out pretty well. It may have been the Viking, not sure. Don't quote me on it. But overall this figure turned out pretty well. If I was to give him another accessory, it would be a camera drone to represent the Marvel Spider-Man or something show where Kraven the Hunter was filmed by drones. But overall this figure turned out pretty well. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.